Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Underdog episode. Today, we got Season 3, Episode 4, Give Me a Hand. Takes place in early November of 2025, and yeah, here we go. The screen is black, and all that can be heard is the comms. Why did it turn off?
I'm in the middle of figuring that out right now.
Dylan can be heard coughing. Make it snappy, I'm having a little trouble breathing over here.
The only way I can do this is with Zara here to rekindle it.
We'll get to it. The title card plays, and it cuts to the team sitting on the forest floor with the sound of flies chirping in the background and crickets chirping. You know I could run with Alan to open one. Dylan looks at Atlas annoyed and looks back at the ground where he's been staring at the past 30 minutes. Dylan hears a tiny crackle in his headset and immediately taps into it. Jake, you there? The other team members park up at this. Why are we sitting here instead of being in town? Because if it gets turned on and we're over there, it could shut off again. Marina stands up and stretches. Well, I'm going over there. She starts to walk away, but Dylan stops her using his gravitational control. Sit down. Let me leave. Dylan sits there and just keeps holding her, looking irritated with the current circumstances. Damn it, Dylan, let me go. We need to be together. Dylan stops controlling Miranda, but instead of running off, she returns to the spot she was sitting on. Back on Earth, Jake looks annoyed as he grips his phone tightly at the track. He taps on his phone a couple more times and puts the phone to his ear. It cuts to a phone buzzing on a counter. It focuses at the background with Zara sitting on the dinner table playing a board game with her ill sister. She looks over at the phone and scoffs, getting up from the table and answering the phone. What do you want? Her face goes to a bit of a concerned look and then a confused to an annoyed face. Yeah, I'll be there. Zara puts the phone down, hanging up. You good to be alone for a little bit? Yeah. I'll be back. My friends need my help. Again. Zara finishes putting her on her coat and walks to the hallway. There she walks into her room and kneels beside her bed, sliding out a black box with latches on it. She unlatches it and opens the box, pulling out her wooden wand. She looks at it for a moment and closes the box and pushes it back under her bed. She gets up and aims the wand outwards. She takes a deep breath and begins to move her arm in a circular circle, creating small purple sparks in the air. They eventually create a portal, which she looks relieved she actually made. She walks into the portal, closing it behind her. Back at the track, Jake's sitting at the setup, still monitoring the team's vitals. He hears a strange sound and turns to his right. A portal begins to form, and Zara walks out of it.
Oh, hey, you actually came.
I said I would, didn't I?
Never know with you.
Zara rolls her eyes and walks towards Jake. So, run me through this again?
I just need you to make another portal to the dream realm.
Why are they even there?
Let's just say Atlas is pissed right now.
Fun. She walks over to the portal machine and inspects it. After doing this, she springs up and points her wand at it. She closes her eyes and whispers something, making the wand shoot out some kind of zap at the machine. This makes the machine course with purple light. The two arcs of the machine begin to shoot a bridge of purple lightning between each other, and the portal begins to form. Jake turns around from the sight and taps back into comms.
Yeah, I seen a portal anywhere?
No, nothing.
One sec.
Jake gets up and waves Zara off to the side. He sticks his head in the portal, and inside it's an intense blizzard. He almost immediately pulls his head out and cleans his hair.
Please, try again.
She closes the portal and cracks her neck, ready to keep trying. It cuts to the dream realm and the three are sweaty, all and a little bit out of breath. Is anyone else having a hard time breathing? Yeah. What is the problem with this place? It branched off from your mind. I've never been thinking about three-headed bugs, he says as swatting away another one. Aren't they supposed to be saving us? Zara hasn't made portals in a while. Atlas coughs and the group falls silent. On the mountain nearby, Alan spectates the group, wondering why they are still here. It cuts to a piece of paper with tallies on it. Another one gets added as whirring sounds in the background.
17.
Zara scoffs and continues to make portals. Jake sits there and watches, but then gets a notification on his phone.
Oh no.
What?
Nothing, just keep working on it. Think Alice's brain or something.
Jake rushes off in a haste while Zara keeps practicing. Jake gets into his car and puts the key in the ignition, turning on the car. He looks back, reversing the car, and speeds out of the track's parking lot. It cuts to him parking, getting out in a random place in the city with a bunch of people gathered around a crime scene where stretchers are transporting people into an ambulance. Jake gets out of the car and squinting his eyes at what's going on. He walks to the outer part of the crowd. He tries to tiptoe and sees what's happening over the crowd. But with no luck, he starts to push through people to get closer. Eventually, he gets near the front and can finally see what's happening. Building debris is on the ground and small, tiny, shiny fragments that the cops are picking up to inspect. After standing there a little bit, the crowd began to clear, so Jake decided to try and ask the cops some questions.
Hey, you right there.
One of the male cops with blonde hair flowing out from his cap looks over at Jake. Hey,
What the heck happened here?
some shiny-looking creature broke into someone's apartment here, robbed them, and jumped through the walls.
Any leads?
Why? You got some?
No, just curious.
Jake backs up and walks away from the scene and enters his car. But before driving away, he lifts his foot up and takes off some shiny particles off his shoe. Using his enhanced senses, he looked closer at the particles.
Crystals.
Jake says while rubbing his fingers together, making the particles fall to the ground of the car. He starts the car again and drives off the screen. It shifts to the debris and the crystals convolute into a blob and slide away. It cuts back to the dream realm. The three are still sitting around but are now breathing heavy, and their faces are a little sweaty. Dylan, I know you don't think I should, but we could all use some water. Yeah, she's right, Dylan. I'm miserable sitting here. I should be the one, though. Dylan slowly pushes himself off the vibrant grass. He rubs his eyes and floats into the air and starts flying to the town, sluggishly going off the camera. It's the atmosphere. Both Alice and Miranda both flinch immediately and arm their weapons, with Atlas making a lightning bolt, but it turns out it was just Alan. They ease themselves. You're not used to this place. The air is heavy on your lungs. You didn't struggle on Earth. Alan smiles. There's a lot of things I understand, along with many I don't. Will we die? No, but I advise you do return swiftly. Alan flashes away, and Atlas rolls his eyes and sighs. What is taking Zara so long? Zara's sitting down on the ground, wand in hand, with her legs in front of her. She looks defeated as she droops her head between her legs. She lifts her head back up and glances at the computers and sees the vitals of the three in the dream realm. She notices the dip in their oxygen levels. She stands up and walks to the table and confusingly scans the table for something. She finds out what she's looking for and presses the button she finds. You guys okay over there? After a few seconds, a crackly response returns. Yeah, just a little hard to breathe is all. I'm having a hard time making the portal over here. I figured. Zara scoffs. Can you tell me what it looks like over there, or something related to where you are? The sky has this pink tint to it, and the sun is wider than it is over there. And think secluded forest with pink and green fields of flowers. Thanks, Atlas. There will be a portal there in no time. Zara picks up her wand from off the table and walks back to the portal machine. She gets ready with the wand and points it towards the machine. It cuts to Jake driving again, and along his merry way, a wall of prismatic crystals rise from the ground, making jam. Jake slams on the brakes, but still crashes through the wall, sending fragments everywhere. He ducks as the fragments fly into the front window, shattering it. He slowly looks up and sees the crystals floating back, seeming to form something. A human body. Jake burrows his eyebrows and slowly gets out of the car, shutting the door behind him. The body now has formed rigid, jagged legs. Jake pulls out the beam glasses and equips them. As the hips and torso begin to form, Jake heats up the glasses and a red fuzzy beam at the constructing body. But instead of breaking it as Jake expected, it just bounces off at Jake, with him ducking just in time.
Well, that's not gonna work.
The body finally finishes building, and it looks at Jake, and a mouth begins to crack and snap open on the crystal body. That hurt. It cuts to Atlas lying on the grass with his eyes almost fully closed until a bottle of water appears in his vision, making him gasp and fully awake. Still no portal, huh? Atlas just groans and picks up the water bottle and begins chugging it. Can I get one? Dylan tosses the slanted Miranda and then sits down on the grass and then goes to lying down tidily, waiting for the portal. It goes to Dylan first-person POV as his eyes start to drift down until they're fully closed. Until Atlas is standing in front of him with his hand out, offering to help him up. Come on, sorry I got the portal up. It goes back to third person while Dylan takes Alice's hand getting up. How long was I out? 4 or so minutes. Was it even worth sleeping? You can need it. From a distance, Alan is leaned up against a tree watching the group ready to exit through the portal. He pushes off the tree and steps toward them, but before he can get to them, Miranda and Atlas have walked through the portal. And right as Dylan is about to walk through, Hey! Dylan looks over his shoulder. May I come along? Hell if I care. Gosh. Dylan walks through with Alan jogging behind, following through. The portal swirls shut, and a bird lands where it was and pecks the ground. It cuts to black until cutting back to the track with Zara smiling, greeting everyone that's walked through, except Alan, of course. Dylan, though, begins to notice something. Where's Jake? It cuts to Jake being dragged by the hair, knocked out by the crystal person in a dark hallway. Eventually, he drops Jake onto the ground and walks out the room he brought him to. After a few seconds, multiple spotlights turn on, all pointed at Jake. Over a loudspeaker, the person speaks. Hey, wake up, loser. Jake's eyes slowly flicker open as he tries to shade out the light. What do you know? Jake looks around for the origin of the talking. Answer me.
What do you think I know?
Jake continues looking for the sound. Those glasses. They look familiar.
Don't tell me you're a part of this weird domino chain thingy, too.
So you do know. Jake lowers his head and sighs, muttering a curse word under his breath. Are you with Underdog? But instead of responding, Jake's let the silence take over the room. Are you with Dylan? The kiss catches Jake's attention, and he begins to worry. I thought so. I'll be back, and you'll just stay there. The speaker crackles, leaving Jake all alone in this dark, padded room.
Dumbass. Not tying my hands together.
He puts on the glasses and turns up the dial to max heat. He gets close to one of the hands, to one of the walls, and shoots a beam with the glasses through it, making a hole wide enough for him to step through. He takes in where he is, and it just seems to be right outside the city, as buildings can still be seen. As he begins his way back to the city, he taps into his comms.
If you're looking for me, I'm alright. Just got abducted for a second there.
What the hell are you?
I'll just get to you.
Who abducted you?
Some guy made out of crystals. Didn't say his name, though.
Did you say a person made out of crystals?
Why? Sound familiar?
Before I was ever on this team, I used to go around other states saving whoever I could. It was in New Mexico where there were these reports of a shiny guy lurking around. Checked it out and got my ass handed to me. Jake laughs.
So why is he up here?
Probably has something to do with that stupid-ass domino chain thing.
When do you think the last domino is gonna fall?
You don't seriously believe in it?
Better to be ready than to be caught off guard.
Yeah, I get... The comms begin to distort and crackle, and a new voice begins to talk, sounding identical to the crystal person's. Whoever you're talking to, you're going to stop, because I know exactly where you are. Jake stops dead in his tracks, and his eyes widen. The end of episode 4.